Cougar Nation, and welcome back to another Coaches Weekly for this season of Cougar Baseball. I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network, and joining me this week is not your coaches for Cougar Baseball, but three of our players, Brandon Mahler, Anthony Pilato, and Jake Mahler. Guys, thank you for joining us, and how are you doing? How have you been going?
Pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
Thanks for having us.
And it's great to have you guys on. You're coming off of a solid weekend, finished 2-1 in conference, split a doubleheader against Edgewood on senior day, and then finished off a season sweep of Marion just yesterday in an 8-4 win. Coming out of those games, 2-1, solid. You guys 12-6 now in the NAC. You're fourth in the conference, right as you start the final stretch of NAC play. As you go through those games, what's your mentality been at getting through those games and starting up this final stretch of NAC play?
Yeah, I think a big thing for us is just always having the belief over the course of a 9-inning game. I think you even look at the first game of that Marion series, even though it was, doesn't feel like too much of a series. It was about a week ago now, but we were down 7-8-0, in the first 3 or 4 innings. And obviously we came back to kind of win a shootout, but the reason that comeback happens is because of the inherent belief in our dugout that we're never out of it and we're never going to go away. And I think that belief was there game 1 against Edgewood. I think all we needed was kind of a few more zeros or a few more key plays defensively to sort of keep us in that one. But I think it was still there, and we felt that belief. And I think it showed in the next game for us to be able to kind of flush the first one and go into game 2 and pull out another comeback. I think it's really becoming a pretty consistent theme of the team this year is sort of these late game comebacks, winning close games, kind of dragging teams into a close game. I think that's kind of been one of our biggest things that we not only noticed in these last 3 or 4 games, but the whole season. So,
on top of that, I think the biggest thing about our team is our resilience. We've been down 5, 6, 7, 8 runs really early in games, and a lot of teams will lay over and just be like, we'll take the next game or, go into the next day, but not the cardiac coups is what we call ourselves. So it's been nice to watch a team just fight back for 7, 8 innings and, come back and come on top.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Like when you prove in a couple games, like a lot this year that we've come back from a lot of games, it's those games that we're down, it's just like no one wavers. Like everyone's like, all right, we still got plenty of time. Even if we got like 3 innings left, like, all right, we can still do this. We've proven that. Like St. Norbert, obviously Marion, like all these games, like we're just never going to go away, and that's going to be a consistent theme for the rest of the year as well.
Yeah, and then you guys mentioned coming back, the big one from this last week, that game 2 against Edgewood, a 9-8 walk-off win. Jake, you had the walk-off hit in that game, and over the last 2 games, you've seen a lot of big performances from you guys, and I kind of want to go beyond this last week. You guys in your last season with the Cougars, looking back on all of your time here, what are some of your best memories, your favorite parts of playing for Cougar baseball?
I think I have a different answer than most. Playing here for 4 years, my best memories are not baseball. I preach this to all the guys, especially the younger guys or new guys. You're going to take for granted when you graduate the amount of time you're going to spend with the guys in the dugout, off the field. And it's special. A lot of guys I know for certain on this team that are seniors can confidently say that they made one of their most long impressions with the guys you play in the field. I can confidently say that at least 3 to 4 to 5 guys are going to be standing in my wedding. So it's like some of those memories off the field, not even baseball related, are probably the ones that are going to stick with me the most, and the things that I'll probably remember when I'm stuck in a cubicle in about 3 months. So I think that's the biggest thing for me, was just off the field memories with the guys.
Yeah, it takes me back to there's a video of a Boston College basketball player after a March Madness elimination, and the reporter asked him what was his favorite memory of his 4 years in Boston College basketball, and he's like super tearful, looks out at the camera, and he just says, going out to eat. And I didn't really understand it when I saw it in high school, even early college, but now I'm getting to the tail end of my career, and it's going out to eat with the guys one more time, or one more dinner in the calf, one more early morning lift. It's those are the memories that truly kind of built the wins on the field. I think for us, a lot of the work we did to win the games, everybody else sees we're done sort of in private with the 30 to 40 of us. A lot of those defining memories are stuff that didn't even happen between the white lines. I think that's a pretty cool thing to see how important something off the field, can relate to your on-field success.
Yeah, I would say literally the same thing. One of the memories that sticks out from this year that off the field was when we were down in Texas after the Game 2 win when we all got back on the bus. It's really late. The boys are listening to Choosing Texas on the bus, and we're all just having a good time singing, vibing. That was honestly one of the coolest memories I've had, and that just cements the off the field stuff. Like they all said, everything that happens on the field is really cool, but the stuff that's going to stick and everything that we're going to remember and talk about a couple years down the road when we all reconnect and everything is everything that happened off the field. And I think that's just a test.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cougar Sports Network for one final day at the Thunderdome here for the 2026 season. And Jack Carroll is getting things started on the mound for the Cougars. CUC hosting Milwaukee School of Engineering for a NAC matchup here. And the first pitch delivered by Carroll, low for ball one. Both of these two teams already clinched a spot in the NAC tournament, so competing here for final seeding as we near the end of the regular season. Carroll delivering that one in there for strike one. 1-1 counts now. Raiders coming into today, a dominant performance so far on the season, 27-9 overall, 17-3 in the NAC. And the Cougars coming off of a big series as well, as that one's going to be skied into right field for Zagerman to collect with ease for out number one. Cougars coming into today 19-16 overall, 14-6 in the conference.
The second baseman, number 20, Christian Bosquet.
So that's going to bring up number 20, Christian Bosquet, up to the plate after retiring Charlie Klaus on the fly out there. So a quick one out. And the Cougars looking to get to work here. as Bosquet swings through that one for strike number 1. Taking a look at this lineup for the Cougars, a very familiar lineup. Carroll on the mound, Brandon Mahler behind home plate, going left to right across the infield, Jake Mahler, Jeff Becker, Richie Sperando, and Jack Linko. And going left to right across the outfield, Brendan Holloway, Cam Buckley, and Xavier Zagerman. So sticking with what's working for the Cougars as this one misses in the dirt for ball 2. Two-two count here for Bosquet. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 quick outs for the Cougars as Bosquet goes down swinging, and that's going to put A.J. Lay up to the plate with 2 away.
Third, the left fielder, number 13, A.J. Lay.
Carroll on the mound for the Cougars. He's been a key starter this season, making his 7th start. He's pitched 31 total innings so far, 3-1 record on the season, as he delivers that one in there for ball 1. Collected NAC Pitcher of the Week a few weeks ago after his career outing, and looking to continue to dominate on the mound for the Cougars here today. 2 quick outs and a 1-1 count for Lay. This one inside for ball 2. A.J. Lay batting .336 on the season, one of the top hitters for this Raiders squad, making his 37th start on the season. Stays aggressive at the plate and now worked himself into a 3-1 count here against Carroll. The 3-1. Connected on, fouled off, makes this 3-2. The 3-2, 2 outs from Carroll. Swing and a miss, strike number 3. Jack Carroll gets him swinging, and the Cougars quickly put a 3-up, 3-down inning on the board and hand things over to the CUC hitters who have the opportunity to strike first. A big start to the game for Carroll on the mound, and that's going to hand things over to the arm for the Raiders, number 31, Zach Brzezinski, junior from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, looking to get things rolling here for the Raiders. Taking a look at that lineup for the Cougars, that batting order, I should say. Again, a very familiar batting order. Buckley leading things off, followed by Holloway, Jake Mahler, Brandon Mahler, Linko, Owens, Zagerman, Beckert, Sperando. So a very familiar batting order that we've seen work so many times throughout this season for the Cougars. Meanwhile, we'll take a look at the fielding lineup here for the Raiders. I already mentioned Zach Brzezinski on the mound. Behind home plate, Robbie Erickson. Going left to right across the infield, Charlie Klaus, J.J. Jackson, Christian Bosquet, and over at first, Camden Hoyer. And then taking a look at that outfield going left to right, A.J. Lay, Jake Franks, and Jordan Skolmar. So a tried and true trusty lineup for the Raiders, but Cam Buckley, he's the guy that's going to lead things off for the Cougars. Looking to strike first here in River Forest. Like I mentioned, today is the final home game of the season for the Cougars as they head to Rockford on Friday for their final regular season conference game. But Cam Buckley looking to start things off on a high note for the Cougars. as he let that first pitch go by for ball one. Buckley, he's a first pitch kind of guy. We often see him taking a swing at that first pitch, and he checked his swing on it, looking like he really wanted to take a swing at it, but let it go for ball one. As he's quickly ahead at 2-0 in the count. Buckley connects with that one, sends it just foul along the first base line. A nice chopper right up the line. Just couldn't quite stay fair. So the 2-1 now. As that one misses yet again, the 3-1 here for Buckley. And Buckley's going to take himself for a walk and hand things over to Brendan Holloway. No outs on the board. And the fastest man on the roster over on first.
Batting second, the left fielder, number 17, Brendan Holloway.
Holloway working his way into that starting left fielder position. We saw some changes throughout the season over out there in left field, but Holloway been consistent, and he's been having himself a fantastic string of games, batting .348 on the season. As they're going to check quickly on Buckley over at first, and rightfully so. Buckley, he is a little bit of a menace on the base paths. 21 stolen bases this season, leading the Cougars in that category. First pitch to Holloway, in there for strike one. As that is going to be a balk, giving Buckley the free second base. So Buckley now over on second. Holloway showing bunts here. That one in the dirt's going to give plenty of time for Buckley to make his way all the way to third. So very quickly, Cam Buckley making his way from first to third with minimal effort. As Holloway thought about swinging at that one, it checked his swing. 2-1 count here for Holloway. He fouls that one off with some aggression towards the Cougar dugout. Now sits with the 2-2 counts. Holloway staying smart at the plate, worked his way back ahead here. A full count for Brendan Holloway. Cam Buckley over on third. No outs on the board. Brzezinski trying to get out of this one after quickly letting Buckley take a couple free bags. The 3-2. Connected on, skied into shallow right field, causing a little bit of trouble. Skolmar coming in. That's going to drop right behind Bosquet. Holloway's going to stay at first, and Buckley's going to score, and the Cougars strike first. A little bit of a danger zone there. Just dropped right in between Skolmar and Bosquet.
Batting third, the third baseman, number
So that's going to bring Jake Mahler up to the plate. But the Cougars now have the 1-0 lead with no outs. First pitch to Mahler in there for strike one. Mahler connects with that one, skies it foul along the left field line. Now he sits behind 0-2. The 0-2 misses low, gets away from Erickson and gives Holloway plenty of time to make his way over to second, and that's going to bring head coach of the Raiders, Adrian Santiago, out to have a quick discussion with his infield, kind of settle some things in. A very uncharacteristic start here for the Raiders. As the Cougars quickly put one run on the board and just a little bit of motion that's just allowed the base runners to get around. So the 1-2 for Mahler. Coach Santiago trying to get his team back in line here. Holloway on second. Mahler really wanted that one, but well up and away for ball two. Slight breeze here at the Thunderdome today. You can see the flag out in right field just subtly blowing in the wind. And as we've seen all season, some wind can be dangerous here, especially with the Mahler brothers at the plate. As Mahler swings through that one for strike three and hands things over to his brother, Brandon Mahler, with one away. First out on the board, Holloway on second, and Brandon Mahler now at the plate. A much-needed strikeout for Brzezinski, especially after just having some mishaps that allowed the Cougars to score first and move some base runners around. But that first pitch to Mahler dropping inside for ball one. Mahler, he has been a force to be reckoned with this season. He's batting .464 on the year. 13 total home runs. As that's going to bring Jack Linko up to the plate. So after Mahler taking that walk, that's going to put Linko now at the plate. Two runners on base. And the first pitch to Linko delivered in there for strike one. Linko swinging through that one. He's now behind 0-2. As that one missing just outside for ball one. A good lead from Linko. So Brzezinski struggling a little bit on the mound to start the day. So after Mahler jumping ahead in the count, just taking the intentional walk, not giving him the opportunity to do anything crazy and hand things over to the next guy. But Jack Linko, he sends this one into a trouble zone along the right field line. That's going to be a fair ball dropping just on the line. A single for Linko is going to load the bases up with one out, and Dom Owens coming to the plate. Great placement from Linko. Again, just dropping into a little bit of a danger zone. Just some of these shallow hits just doesn't give enough time to the Raiders defense to get there. Not a lot of force, not a lot of airtime. So Owens now at the plate. 1 away and bases loaded. Brzezinski needing to lock in here and try to hold these runners where they're at, and he does so with that first pitch, sliding in there for strike one. This one's going to be connected on. A chopper, great grab, they get one, but a run is going to score from it. But a really, really great grab there from Bosque. That ball had some force to it, but Bosque with the diving grab just able to keep it and get the flip over, but that is going to allow Holloway to score, and the Cougars quickly go up 2-0 here in the bottom of the first, and that's going to bring Zagerman now to the plate with 2 away. Zagerman skies this one high into left field. Backtracking to collect it is A.J. Lay, and he does with ease. But a very effective first inning for the Cougars, taking the early 2-0 lead. And that's going to do it for the first inning as Hoyer, Mayberry, and Erickson do up when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports and Network, Camden Hoyer leading things off for the Raiders. Jack Carroll still dishing on the mound, and he delivers ball number 1, but a very entertaining first inning for the Cougars, taking the early 2-0 lead. Nothing too flashy, nothing too aggressive, just a couple of base hits and some good high IQ base running. Put runners in scoring position and gave the Cougars the opportunity to strike first, but the Raiders now trying to lock it in here, but Hoyer sitting with the 1-1 count. As that one is fouled off yet again, now sits behind 1-2. This one missing outside. As that one is fouled off yet again. Really good effort there from Hoyer, keeping himself alive. Pitch clock winding down. Carroll just beating it out. This one's going to be fouled off yet again. Hoyer protecting that plate, but reaching over to try to not get caught on that outside edge of the plate, so fouling it off the edge of his bat. As that one misses outside. They're going to check to make sure he didn't swing. But field umpire says no, so that's going to fill the count up 3-2. As that one's going to be connected on deep into right field. Backtracking to collect it on the warning track is Zagerman for out number 1. A nice long at-bat for Hoyer. Just not able to convert on it, and that's going to put 1 out on the board, and Kyle Mayberry now at the plate for the Raiders.
Designated hitter number 4, Kyle Mayberry.
First pitch to Mayberry in there for strike 1. As that one misses inside for ball 1. This one in the dirt makes it a 2-1 count. Mayberry batting .308 this season. He's making his 36th start on the year, slugging .525. As that one is fouled off. Two-two count now, 1 away. Carroll delivers. Upstairs, ball 3. And that's going to miss in the dirt. Ball 4. So the first base runner here for the Raiders brings Robbie Erickson now to the plate.
Batting 6th, the catcher number 7, Robbie Erickson.
Erickson batting .306 on the year, making his 20th start. First pitch in there for strike 1. That one in there for strike 2, excuse me. A quick 0-2 count against Erickson. Carroll getting set here. He delivers in the dirt, but Mahler losing it for a second, but that doesn't give enough time for Mayberry to get away. So still the 1-2 and a base runner on first. This one skied into right field yet again. Zagerman with the jumping catch. And they're going to say he dropped it, but they're going to get the runner over at second. So Zagerman not quite able to collect it. the jumping attempt, really, really good effort there from Zagerman, just not quite able to hold on to it.
Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 2, Jordan Skolmar.
So Jordan Skolmar now at the plate. He swings through the first pitch he sees. One and one count now. This one connected on, now sent deep back into left field. Holloway up and underneath it for the out. So a scoreless inning yet again for
In the inning, no
the Raiders, but a little bit of trouble stranding some base runners in the process. But that is going to do it for the top of the second. When we come back, we're going to have Beckert, Sperando, and Buckley due up right here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Jeff Beckert leading things off for the Cougars, and he lets that one go by for ball one. Brzezinski still dishing on the mound for the for the Raiders. Now sits with the 1-1 count. Beckert fouling that one off. That one missing, low and away, levels this count up at 2 apiece. Beckert this season making his 30th start. The sophomore slowly working his way up, as that ball is going to be another blooper right along the line. It's just going to drop foul this time, but we saw that cause issues for the right side of the field for the Raiders already today. Nothing hit with too much force, but just enough to drop into a little bit of no man's land. So Beckert staying alive here with the 2-2. As that one's going to clip in there for strike number 3. So Becker goes down looking and hands things over to Richie Sperando.
Batting ninth, the second baseman, number 8, Richie Sperando.
Sperando this season making his 36th start, batting .268 on the year. He's had himself a strong early goings as that one's going to be bobbled by Kloss, but able to regain control and get the throw over. So that's going to hand things over to the top of the order for the Cougars with 2 away, and Cam Buckley looking to get things started here with 2 outs on the board.
Cam Buckley.
Two outs on the board, and Buckley looking to jumpstart the offense, but he's going to swing through the first pitch he sees. Oh, 1 count here for Cam Buckley. That one dropping in there for strike number 2, catching that outside corner. One-two count here. Brzezinski trying to put a 0 on the scoreboard after giving the Cougars 2 runs in the bottom of the first. Delivers this one in there for strike 3. A really tough call there, but able to secure it for the outs. And Brzezinski, he does just that, able to deliver a scoreless inning and send this back to the Raiders offense. So as we come back, we'll have Franks, Jackson, and Kloss due up. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Jake Franks leading the inning off for the Raiders. CUC standing tall with that 2-0 lead as Carroll delivers strike number 1 to start the inning. Franks batting .237 on the season, making his 37th start this year. As that one clips the zone for strike number 2. One-two count here for Franks. Carroll delivers just upstairs for ball 2. This one swung on, fouled off over the Raiders dugout. Franks keeping himself alive here. Swing and a miss. Strike number 3 for Franks. Carroll collecting another strikeout. His third of the day is going to bring J.J. Jackson up to the plate.
J.J. Jackson.
Carroll, he has really come to life this season for the Cougars on the mound. Seeing his first start this year in his senior campaign and never looking back. Last season, making 12 appearances, pitching only a total of 15 innings, 9 strikeouts. And this year, he's just absolutely come to life. As that one is fouled off over the Cougar dugout. But this year, Carroll, I already mentioned it, 31 innings pitched. But in that, we've seen him collect 34 strikeouts, including a career-high 10 strikeouts against Benedictine earlier in April. So just been a very strong and an effective arm for CUC. As that one's going to collect in there for strike number 3. Oh, my goodness. Jack Carroll absolutely getting it done on the mound. And that's going to bring the top of the order for the Raiders in Charlie Klaus. Carroll already up to 4 strikeouts here today as he looks to continue dishing on the mound. Delivers that one upstairs for ball 1. That one in there for strike 1. That one clipping in there for strike 2. Carroll working quickly here. The 1-2, 2 outs from Carroll. Missing just outside for ball 2. The 2-2. Low for ball 3. That one's going to chop foul. Really good effort there from Klaus to keep himself alive. As that one misses low for ball 4. So really strong at-bat from Charlie Klaus to stay alive there. And that's going to bring Christian Bosquet up to the plate now with 2 away and 1 base runner on.
Second baseman number 20, Christian Bosquet.
As that one's going to be connected on a chopper that's going to get right past Mahler all the way into left field. Mahler just coming up on it too soon. And that's going to allow Klaus to get to third and Bosquet to get over safely on first.
Left fielder number 13, AJ Lay.
AJ Lay now up at the plate. He struck out in his first plate appearance here today. As Carroll's going to check on Bosquet over at first. This one in there, the throw over. They're not going to get the runner, but they are going to allow the base runner, the runner on third to score. Bosquet is going to avoid. The ball's going to pop out. A continual pickle here as Beckert finally able to collect the out. So the throw down from Mahler was in time, but really high IQ running from Bosquet just allowed plenty of time for Klaus to get home. And then Bosquet is going to eventually get out on the plate. So the Raiders are able to get themselves on the board. But CUC with an opportunity to strike back when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Brendan Holloway leading things off for the Cougars, and he's going to swing at the first pitch he sees. Now sits with the 0-1 count. As he lets that one go by for strike two. Holloway not too happy with that call, but he sits now 0-2. Brzezinski starting to find his groove here in the bottom of the third. As Holloway's going to leave that one for ball one. One-two count here for Holloway. He had a single in his first at-bat. As he's going to send that one right back at Brzezinski. Brzezinski able to still collect it and get it over for the out. So really, really good effort there. And that's going to bring head coach of the Raiders out to check on Brzezinski. Says that he's fine, says it bounced off his glove. So that is going to put one out on the board, and Jake Mahler now at the plate.
Third baseman number 5, Jake Mahler.
Mahler at the plate. He struck out in his first at-bat here today. He's going to swing at the first pitch he sees, fouls that backwards out of play. Mahler, he's going to swing at that one. That's going to get collected by Jackson. The throw is not going to be in time. So an infield single for Mahler is going to bring Brandon Mahler now up to the plate. Brandon Mahler, he was intentionally walked in his last at-bat. Brzezinski was struggling to find his groove a little bit. And after falling behind in the count, just decided to walk Mahler. But he's going to make him pay, and he's going to drop that one into space in left center. It's going to get all the way to the wall. Jake Mahler, he's going to hold at third. No, he's going to send all the way home. The throw is going to be at home, not in time. Brandon Mahler all the way to third, and the Cougars tack another run on. Oh, my goodness. The throw actually was in time. It just took a bounce at the ground, and there was nothing that could be done. Jake Mahler just absolutely booking it around the bases, and that's going to put Brandon Mahler over on third. As Linko's going to swing at the first pitch he sees, going foul along the first base line and collected by Hoyer for the out. So that is going to hold Mahler at third and hand things over to Dom Owens.
The designated hitter, number 14, Dom Owens.
First pitch to Owens in there for strike one. This one missing upstairs for ball one. And that one's going to hit Owens. So that's going to put another base runner on with 2 outs. And that's going to bring Zagerman up to the plate.
The right fielder, number 16, Xavier Zagerman.
Zagerman operating with 2 outs, runners on the corner bags. He flew out to left field in his last at-bat. First pitch to Zagerman outside for ball one. Zagerman is going to swing through that one for strike one. Owens is going to hold, and that ball is going to get thrown away. So exactly what we saw in the top of the inning. The Cougars retaliated and did so without securing that final out. So Mahler, he's going to score on the double steal, and the error from the Raiders is going to allow Owens to stay safe. As Zagerman's going to swing through that one. Level this at 2 apiece. The 3-2 here for Zagerman. Swing and a miss. Strike number 3. So that is going to do it for the inning, but the Cougars, they're able to tack on 2 more runs and jump out to the 4-1 lead. AJ Lay coming back to the plate when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, AJ Lay back at the plate for MSOE after the little bit of chaos ended the top of the 3rd for them. But he's going to wear the first pitch he sees and take his free base right away. So the first hit by pitch from Jack Carroll here today, and that's going to hand things over to Camden Hoyer.
First baseman number 33, Camden Hoyer.
As that one's going to be fouled straight back for a quick 0-1 count. The 0-1 connected on and sent deep into center field. Buckley coming in and makes the grab and holds Lay over at first for out number 1. And that's going to hand things over to Kyle Mayberry now. 1 away, 1 runner on. Mayberry took a walk in his last at-bat. A long at-bat for him in that last plate appearance. Initially down in the count and then working his way back up. Staying aggressive at the plate here, so we can assume he's going to continue to make Carroll work. As Lay's going to take off. The throw from Mahler well off the bag. So AJ Lay moving over to second. And the 0-1 count here for Mayberry. This one missing low for ball number 1. As this one's going to be connected on set right over Beckert's head. A really tough spot to be in. So that is going to allow Lay to score. It's going to hold Mayberry over at first, but a nice hard knock from Kyle Mayberry. Four to 2, the Cougars still lead, but one out on the board and a base runner on here for Robbie Erickson. As Erickson shows bunt, that's going to pop high, but Mahler not able to get there in time. Foul territory. So that's going to sit with the 0-1 count for Erickson. As Mayberry's going to take off, and the throw is going to get right past Beckert. That's going to give Mayberry plenty of time to get to third on the air from Beckert. So a base runner now 90 feet from scoring. 0-1 count for Erickson. As that one's going to miss. They're going to appeal down to the field ump who says no swing on it. So the 1-1 count here remains. That one missing outside as well. That one swung on, fouled off on top of the Cougar dugout. Looks like he just kind of caught a piece of it on the handle of his bat. So Carroll leveling this up at 2 apiece. That one reached for to swing at it, going out of play along the first base line yet again. Erickson protecting the plate pretty well here. The 2-2. Swung on, sent high into shallow center field. Buckley coming up and underneath it. He's going to make the throw home. It's going to be almost broken up, but just a little off bag is going to allow Mayberry to score. And just like that, the Cougars only have a 1-run lead, but 2 outs on the board. Jordan Skolmar now at the plate for the Raiders. Skolmar flew out to left field in his last at-bat. As this one above Skolmar's head for ball 1. This one's going to be swung on, fouled off over top of the Cougar dugout yet again. 1-1 count here. This one missing in the dirt for ball 2. This one's going to be swung on and lifted into center field, but Buckley able to get underneath it for the out. So that is going to allow the Raiders to tack some runs on. 2 runs on, 1 hit and 1 error, but that's going to bring Becker, Sperando, and Buckley due up when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Jeff Beckert leading the inning off for CUC. As Brzezinski still dishes on the mound. Beckert checking his swing for the 1-0 count. This one dropping low makes it 2-0. And that one sneaking its way in there for strike 1. Brzezinski nearing 55 pitches so far on the day. As Beckert's going to drop that one into shallow right field. Again, those shallow hits have been where the Cougars have been finding the most success. And that's going to put Richie Sperando now at the plate.
Second baseman number 8, Richie Sperando.
Sperando showing bunt. Buckley taking a lead off there, but bunt sent foul. Sperando just trying to move Beckert over around the bases to give it back to the top of the order. Sperando showing bunt yet again. This time he's going to pull back as that one drops low. That one clipping in there for strike number 2. So the 1-2 count here for Sperando. Sperando's going to reach for that one, sending it foul. And right at the Cougar dugout, Hoyer able to collect it yet again for out number 2, and that's going to bring the top of the order. As Cam Buckley coming up to the plate. Buckley struck out in his last at-bat as he sends a chopper over to second. Bosquet able to collect it for the out. And as 2 outs on the board brings up Brendan Holloway.
17, Brendan Holloway.
One 1-0 count here for Holloway. He had that hard hit ball right back to Brzezinski in his last at-bat, but he's going to sky this one into center field, but Frank's able to collect it for the out. So that's going to do it for the inning. The Cougars unable to score, so they're going to head to the top of the 5th with the 1-run lead when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Frank's at the plate for the Raiders. Raiders have the opportunity to go ahead here in the top of the 5th after tacking on 2 runs in the top of the 4th and then holding the Cougars at scoreless in the bottom of the inning. Jack Carroll still dishing on the mound for CUC. As that one in there for strike 1. One and one count here for Franks. As that one drops in there for strike number 2. A lot of history between these two teams, but the Cougars on a little bit of a drought against the Raiders. Overall, CUC 31-14 against MSOE, but have lost the last 10 matchups. As that one misses for ball 2. Cougars' last win over the Raiders came in 2021 right here at the Thunderdome, a 16-5 and then a 16-8 sweep over the Raiders. As that one misses in the dirt for ball 3. A quick full count here now for Franks. As this one's going to be skied deep and back. And that is going to be over the fence. Jake Franks ties this ball game up at 4 apiece. A solo shot over the left field fence. The wind blowing directly out, and he took advantage of it. And just like that, we have a brand new ball game. So what was a dominating start to this game for the Cougars has now turned into a level playing field with J.J. Jackson now at the plate. As the Cougars checking to make sure that Franks touched all the bases. Carroll throwing over to Mahler at third, but being signaled safe nonetheless. First pitch here, swung on, and making the leaping grab is Beckert for out number 1.
Third baseman number 1, Charlie Klaus.
First pitch to Klaus in there for strike 1. As this one dropping in and just missing for ball 1. Cougars, they're coming off of a big-time playoff clinching sweep over Wisconsin Lutheran this past weekend. The 10-3 victory in Game 1 and the 4-0, as Klaus sends that one back and over the fence. Another solo home run, this one over the right field fence. And the Raiders, they are getting to work early here and taking the lead for the first time today. Oh, my goodness. And that's going to bring head coach Matt Smith out to have a quick chat with his infield, resettle some things. As you can imagine, Jack Carroll starting to get a little frustrated here. Back-to-back home runs here, only broken up by the line drive that Beckert was able to catch, but coming into this inning, trailing by 1 and then going ahead by 1. Is going to hand things over. So that is going to retire the inning for Jack Carroll, and that's going to bring a new arm on the mound. So while we get all the information on our new arm and the final stat line for Jack Carroll, we'll take a break right here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, new arm on the mound, number 22, Elliot Higgins, senior right-handed pitcher out of Park Ridge, Illinois. Coming into today, he's going to be making his 5th appearance on the season. A senior on this squad that faced some adversity to start the season, but once he started seeing the mound again, finding his groove, most recently coming off of a 4 1/3 innings pitched against Edgewood on April 18th. But this season, Higgins starting to come to life late when it is needed, and especially as the Cougars have already clinched the playoffs and looking to continue that run, having a senior thrower like Higgins able to step in and get things done is necessary. So that final stat line for Jack Carroll, 4.1 innings pitched, 3 hits, 5 runs allowed, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 batter hit by a pitch, 19 batters faced, and 77 total pitches thrown, as the first pitch from Higgins is in there for strike 1. This one's going to be swung on. It's going to be foul, but Linko, he's tracking it just out of view of the press box. But looking like Linko not able to collect it or hold on to it cleanly. But either way, that's going to go for strike 2. So an 0-2 count in favor of Higgins to start this inning off. Higgins, early in his career at CUC, you could see him being that key closer coming in the 9th inning and providing some absolute damage on the mound, some quick 3-out innings, and we've seen him develop into a stronger, long-lasting reliever, as this one is going to be dropped into left field. Holloway is going to bobble it a little bit, but it is going to hold Bosque at first, so no harm, no foul. But a base knock for Bosque puts A.J. Lay now at the plate with 1 away. A lot of rhyming in that sentence right there. But A.J. Lay, he was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat and then quickly made his way around the bases to score with ease. 1 out on the board. Higgins checking over on Bosque, diving safely back to the bag. As this one well inside, brushing Lay off the plate. Doubleheader day here in River Forest. Both the Cougar baseball and Cougar softball team playing 2 games. As strike 1 delivered. So Cougar baseball here, game number 1 against MSOE, with game number 2 following roughly 30 minutes after the end of this game. And right behind center field, Cougar softball, they're playing a non-conference matchup against North Central. Doubleheader slated to start at 2:30. with game number 2 starting roughly 30 minutes after that. So taking advantage of the nice weather we get in River Forest when possible, and this serving as the final home game for the Cougars this season, as that one delivered low for ball 2. Weather has been an interesting factor this year for all of the Midwest college baseball and softball, as we've seen a lot of warmer temperatures than we have in years past, but a lot of rain that has caused some rescheduling and just some unknowns early on in the year, and even so much as the last couple weeks seeing some games being rescheduled due to weather. But when the teams are able to play, a lot nicer and warmer weather than we've had in years past. But A.J. Lay, he's going to take his base and take the walk, his 2nd consecutive walk. And that's going to bring Camden Hoyer back to the plate for the Raiders. As Coach Santiago, he's going to take a second and call his hitters in to figure some things out. So just a quick conversation here. All the base runners and the hitters, Coach Santiago just wanted to talk some things through. Coach Santiago in his 2nd season with the Raiders.
First baseman number 33.
Coming from Webster University prior to his time at MSOE. Served as the recruiting coordinator and the head assistant coach there. In 2022, he helped lead the Gorlocks in every major statistical category. And then last season, obviously, his first at the helm for the Raiders, a very successful season for MSOE. He came in and got a lot of things done in the right way. Raiders winning the NAC conference tournament last year, and then going on to make a run in the NCAA tournament, pulling a win over his former school, Webster, before making it to the next round. As that one's going to get past Mahler. Mahler's just going to watch it as it rolls past. So that's going to allow the base runners to advance. So now runners on second and third. Hoyer sitting with the 1-1 counts. And not much that could be done. Mahler knew as soon as that ball got past him that base runners were going to take at least one, so he was going to control that as Hoyer swung through that one for strike number 2. As that one's going to be put into play, a chopper over. Sperano's going to go home to try to get the out at home, and they do. High IQ play from Richie Sperano to stop the run from scoring. AJ Lay's going to hold at second, and Bosquet's going to be out at home. Great play from Sperano. Great tag from Mahler. And that's going to put Kyle Mayberry now at the plate with 2 away. Good diving effort from Bosquet, but just not able to beat the throw and the tag. As the first pitch to Mayberry delivered in there for strike 1. Runners now on first and second as that one is going to get down into right field. Zagerman scoops it, the throw off the bag, so that is going to allow Lay to score. Mayberry at first and Hoyer at second. The Raiders now go up 6-4.
Catcher number 7, Robbie Erickson.
Erickson now at the plate. He's 0 for 1 on the day here today. Hagen's trying to get the Cougars out of this inning. First pitch to Erickson in there for strike 1. Mahler, he's going to throw down to first to try to catch Mayberry, but the throw just a little off bag. So Linko able to collect it, but not able to drop the tag. 1-1 count here for Erickson. As that one fouled straight back, makes it a 1-2 count. The 1-2 swung on for, they're going to say he didn't swing. Home plate umpire immediately looking to the field umpire who says no swing. Cougar faithful, as well as potentially that home plate umpire, all thought that that was a swung on ball for strike number 3, but instead it's going to level the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 base runners on. 22 on the mound trying to get out of this, and he delivers ball 3. This one's going to be connected on and take a bounce past Mahler. That's going to allow 1 run to score. Mayberry holding at third. Runners now on the corner bags. Raiders now lead 7-4.
Number 2, Jordan Skolmar.
Jordan Skolmar now at the plate. Back-to-back flyouts so far today. He's chasing his first hit here in River Forest. Runner takes off. Mahler fakes the throw, but instead holds with 2 outs on the board, and nothing but luck on the Raiders' side here in the top of the 5th. Mahler not wanting to take any chances. Raiders starting off a little bit slow here in game number 1 and really coming to life here the last 3 innings, slowly chipping away at the Cougars' lead and eventually taking the lead. As Higgins trying to get out of this inning with as little damage as possible. That one clipping in there and levels this count at 2 apiece. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Still 2 base runners on and 22 on the mound. Higgins locking in here. He gets set. The 2-2. Fouled off. Keeping himself alive here is Skolmar. This one in the dirt. Mahler doing a nice job of keeping it in front of him. Fills this count up 3-2. This one's going to be swung on and lifted deep into right field. Zagerman able to collect it for the out to get out of the inning. A much-needed end to this inning. But 4 runs on 4 hits is going to give the Raiders the lead over the Cougars. But Jake Mahler, Brandon Mahler, Jack Linko due up when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Jake Mahler leading the inning off, and he sky fouls that one straight back. Brzezinski still dishing on the mound for the Raiders after they had an explosive top half of the inning, tacking on 4 runs and taking the lead from the Cougars. CUC trailing for the first time today, looking to jumpstart their offense here as Mahler's going to foul that one off yet again. Jake Mahler 1 for 2 here today. This one missing outside for ball 1. One, 2 count. Well inside for ball 2. Weather here in River Forest. Sunny conditions, slight breeze blowing straight out here at the Thunderdome, right about 12 miles an hour, 61 and sunny, as nice as you can get for a closing day here in April, as Mahler sends that one into the Raiders dugout. Still sits with the 2-2 count. This one missing well outside for ball 3. So Mahler, after 2 quick fouls, put him behind 0-2. He's worked his way right back into this, making it a full count. Really forcing Brzezinski to do some work here, as he nears 70 pitches on the day. And that one misses upstairs, ball 4. So that's going to put Brandon Mahler now at the plate. No outs, 1 runner on, and the guy that you want at the plate coming up. Brandon Mahler picked up a double in his last at-bat. He wound up on third after the relay home to try to catch Jake Mahler. Mahler, he's been a force all season for the Cougars and in the NAC and even in the national stats, as he lets that first pitch go by for ball 1. This one's going to get down in shallow. Oh, the diving catch. And he's able to make it. Oh, my goodness. An absolute missile of a shot that almost had no shot at getting caught. But Jake Franks able to just dive and make the play. Jake Mahler planted over on first. Great athleticism there from Jake Franks. As the first pitch to Linko's in there for strike 1. Linko swinging through that one. He quickly sits with the 0-2. Linko, a strong hitter for the Cougars this season, batting .333. He's making his 20th start here today. 3 home runs on the season, as that one misses in the dirt for ball 1. One, 2 count. In there for strike 3. Linko jumping out of the way, but he's going to take it for the strike. And that's going to bring Dom Owens now to the plate with 2 away and 1 runner on. Owens hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. He's 0 for 1 so far today, chasing his first hit, and no better time to do so than with 2 outs and a runner on, especially trailing 7-4 here in the bottom of the 5th. Trying to eliminate, leaving those base runners stranded. As he swings at that one, coming into shallow, the diving attempt no good from Lay. So that's going to put 2 runners on and now, and Zagerman coming to the plate. those shallow hits have been really successful for the Cougars, as we've seen them just drop into the shallow territory, and the Raiders, they're not able to do much with it, and just able to capitalize on it. CUC's been really fantastic with that. As Zagerman, he's going to take that first pitch for strike one. I believe that's 3 Cougar hits today that have just dropped into shallow territory. But the Raiders, they continue playing pretty deep here at the Thunderdome, as CUC is known to be power hitters, sending a ball deep in the outfield, sometimes off the wall, a lot of times over the wall. So Cougars just able to capitalize on where the Raiders are playing today, as Zagerman, he's going to half swing through that one and now sits behind 1-2. Zagerman's going to send that one. It's going to get down in left center. Mahler's going to score. Owens, he's heading to third. Zagerman sliding in safely. And the Cougars, they're able to get something going here with 2 outs. A much-needed RBI double from Zagerman is going to hand things over to Jeff Beckert.
Shortstop number 4, Jeff Beckert.
Cougars take one back. They now trail 7-5. Owens over on third, Zagerman on second, and Jeff Beckert coming up to the plate. Still 2 outs on the board, as first pitch to Beckert in there for strike one. Beckert 1 for 2 so far today. He picked up a single in his last at-bat. That one fouled off. Oh, 2 count here for Becker. 2 base runners on Brzezinski. 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. That one missing just outside. Becker wanted to swing to protect the plate there, but reaching over, he ended up holding off. Now sits 1-2. And swing and a miss, strike 3. Beckert goes down swinging. So that's going to send things back to the Raiders offense. But CUC, they were able to attack on another run and slowly work their way back into this game. Higgins coming back out onto the mound. Franks, Jackson, and Klaus due up when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Jake Franks sends a rocket up the first base line, making its way all the way into the outfield. Linko not able to collect it, so that's going to be a double for Franks. J.J. Jackson now coming to the plate for the Raiders. If you're just now tuning in, the Cougars, they had momentum early on in the game. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead early on before extending out to a 4-1 lead. But the Raiders, they have not backed away. They have not slowed down and slowly started tacking runs back on and really coming to life in the top of the fifth, tacking on 4 runs. And all of that was highlighted by a Charlie Klaus home run, solo home run, I should say, and a Jake Franks solo home run as the throw not in time. Really good throw from Brandon Mahler trying to catch Jake Franks just a little too far off the bag. Higgins still dishing for CUC, just passing 30 pitches thrown so far today. As Higgins now checks over on Jake Franks yet again. The bunt from Jackson, good. But Higgins, he's going to third, and they're not going to get him in time. Jake Franks diving head first under the tag. So that's going to put runners on the corner bags. Charlie Klaus at the plate, no outs. And just as I was saying, Klaus, he's coming off of a solo homer in his last at-bat, so nothing but momentum on his side. Klaus, sophomore out of Janesville, Wisconsin. Higgins getting set here. He's going to check over on Jackson. As some discussions here. Field umpire putting a pause on things. Looks like Jackson has to tie his shoe. Oh, looks like actually some problems with his shoe. It appears as though his shoe might have broke in that process. So Jackson being brought a brand new pair of cleats on the base paths. See something new in D3 baseball every single day, ladies and gentlemen. And as he now has to undo and put his nuke shoes on. As Jackson planted over on first, sitting on the bag, making sure he's not going to get tagged. Just taking his time, putting his shoe on, getting reset. Something new every day in Division III baseball, but Charlie Klaus at the plate, he's looking to ride some momentum here. Higgins taking some pitches to get back into the groove here. And there we go. J.J. Jackson back up and ready to roll here in River Forest. Elliot Higgins on the mound for the Cougars, looking to get back into it. Jackson, he's going to take second with ease. New shoes, new speed. As base runners now on second and third. 0-1 count. This one's going to be skied into shallow center. We've seen this be trouble here so far today. Buckley, the diving catch, he collects it and doesn't even attempt to make the throw home. So Franks is going to score, but it's going to hold Jackson at second. Cam Buckley, speed and athleticism, two key traits for the junior.
Second baseman number 20, Christian.
One out on the board, runner on second, and Christian Bosquet now at the plate. Bosquet picked up a single in his last at-bat. Lets that one go by for ball one. As that one clips the corner of the plate for strike one. 1-1 count here. Mentioned it a little bit earlier in the broadcast, but the Raiders, they're having a strong season this year. They clinched their spot in the NAC playoffs quite a bit earlier than the Cougars did, and so far this season, 27-9 overall, 17-3 in the NAC. Coming off of a non-conference game this past Saturday against North Central College and Wabash College. So they picked up the win over Wabash. They fell to North Central 3-2. But prior to that, they had been on a little bit of a run. 5 straight wins against WLC, Benedictine, and St. Norbert. As that one is in there for strike number 2. 3-2 count here for Bosquet. J.J. Jackson over on second. Higgins delivers in the dirt, ball 4. 2 runners on now. A.J. Lay coming to the plate.
Left fielder number 13, A.J. Lay.
Raiders playing on the road here in River Forest today against Concordia Chicago, and they're going to close out the regular season on their home field. This Friday, they're going to host Edgewood University for a 3 and 6 p.m. doubleheader. Close out the regular season play, NAC play, and their home slate before heading into the NAC baseball tournament hosted by Benedictine this year. Last season, the Raiders hosted the conference tournament, so after their regular season slate was done, they got to continue to play on their home field all the way through playoffs. But this year, Ben U getting the opportunity to host the tournament. As Lay sits with the 2-0 count, now turned 3-0. As that one finally clips the edge of the zone there for strike 1. Higgins working his way right back into this. The 3-1 connected on a chopper. Mahler's going to tag third. The throw over to first, off the bag, a touch, but able to scoop it for the out and the double play to end the inning. So a much-needed double play there for the Cougars is going to close the inning, but Raiders able to tack one on as we head to the bottom of the 6th, CUC trailing 8-5 when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Richie Sperando leading the inning off. And Brzezinski still dishing for the Raiders. CUC trailing 8-5 here in the bottom of the 6th. As Sperando swings through that one, bouncing off the plate. As soon as he went, he knew that he shouldn't have. Got caught on that one. Now sits with the 0-1 count. As that's going to be chopped towards the Raider dugout. Sperando 0 for 2 here in game number 1. Well, this one again, and the foul tip is going to be caught. And Sperando's going to go down swinging and hand things over to Cam Buckley, top of the order.
Center fielder, number 23, Cam
With
Buckley.
1 out on the board. Buckley 0 for 2 here today. Made his way on base in his first plate appearance of the day. Took a walk and then made his way around the bases on a balk and a wild pitch and eventually able to score. As he sends that one through the 6-hole and is able to get on base here and hand things over to Brendan Holloway.
Left fielder, number 17, Brendan Holloway.
Holloway 1 for 3 on the day. As that one misses low for ball 1. Holloway's going to send that one into shallow right field. Buckley got a jump on it and is able to safely make his way back into the bag. But 2 outs on the board is going to put Jake Mahler now at the plate.
Third baseman, number 5, Jake Mahler.
Jake Mahler 1 for 2 here today. As he swings the first pitch, he skies it into right field. And Skolmar able to get up and underneath it for the out. So a quick inning for the Cougar hitters is going to hand things right back over to the CUC defense.
One left on base.
As the Cougars head to the top of the 7th, trailing 8-5. We'll be back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Higgins still dishing onto the mound for the Cougars, and Hoyer leading things off as Higgins delivers strike number 1. This one fouled off, out of play. Hoyer 0 for 3 here today. He's chasing his first hit. As that one just misses. Cougar faithful thought that it looked good. As ball gets away from the Cougar bullpen a little bit. That one, they're going to say he didn't go. And that's going to bring the 2-2 count here. Brandon Mahler confident in strike 3. As that one is going to be fouled off, out of play along the right field line. Zagerman got his way to the fence just in case. Still the 2-2 here. Higgins delivers upstairs, ball 3. This one's going to be chopped foul yet again. Hoyer keeping himself alive. Swing and a miss. Strike number 3. Hoyer goes down swinging, and Higgins picks up a much-needed starting strikeout here. Hands things over to Kyle Mayberry. Higgins' first strikeout of the day. And that's going to bring Mayberry up to the plate. Mayberry named Raider of the Week 2 weeks ago for MSOE. He now sits with the 1-1 count. As he swings that one with some power, but sent foul onto the football field. This one's going to be roped into right field. Zagerman able to collect it, but a base knock for Mayberry puts one on, one away, and Erickson coming to the plate. Robbie Erickson 0 for 2 here today. Erickson batting .306 on the season. He's making his 20th start on the year. As Higgins delivers the first pitch, swung on and missed for strike 1. Higgins turning and checking on Mayberry. Lenko able to hold on to that ball. Wind starting to pick up a little bit, blowing directly towards right field yet again. As that one, a little off-speed, fouled off. So the 0-2 count here in favor of Higgins. One out on the board. Higgins gets set. Pitch clock winding down. He delivers. Missing just outside. Cougar faithful yet again thought that it might have clipped that zone. That one missing low, getting away. Mayberry's going to take off. Mahler's not going to make the throw. Two count here for Erickson. Runner now on second. Higgins delivers. This one's going to be swung on and lifted high into the infield. Sperando coming up and underneath it for the out. So that's going to hold Mayberry at second. 2 outs on the board. Jordan Skolmar now coming to the plate. Talked a little bit about MSOE's recent games and a little bit of a run they've been on, but the Cougars, they've been hot as well. They picked up the sweep over Wisconsin Lutheran this past weekend that secured their spot in the NAC tournament. They fell in a tight matchup against North Central last Wednesday, 5-4. And then before that, they had a win over Marion, win over Edgewood, a sweep over Illinois Tech. Just an all-out back-and-forth matchup this season. And the Cougars, those games that they've lost, they lost to North Central 5-4. Really tight matchups as that's going to be bouncing and getting away from Beckert a little bit. The throw home off the mark. And that's going to get Skolmar safely on first. Another run across as Beckert could not control or contain that ball.
Center fielder number 25, Jake Frank.
Jake Franks now coming to the plate for MSOE, now leading 9-5. Franks, he picked up a double in his last at-bat and a solo home run in his at-bat before that. So he's been a hot hitter so far today. As he's going to connect with that one, and it's going to find space through the right side. Very similar to what we saw in his last at-bat. Zagerman's going to throw. The throw to third, not in time. Jake Mahler able to contain it. So now runners on the corner, Bags. 2 outs on the board, and J.J. Jackson coming up to bat.
Shortstop number 23, J.J. Jackson.
Jackson 0 for 3 here today. Struck out in his first at-bat and has made contact with the ball in the last 2. Higgins delivers the first pitch in there. Mahler's going to make the throw down. We've seen this happen 3 times here today as the throw back to home. Mahler back to Mahler, and they collect the outs. Much needed high play there for the Cougars. Not even attempting the runner on second and just focusing on Skolmar to get out of the inning, but the Raiders, they're going to tack on another run and take the 9-5 lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th right here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Brandon Mahler leading things off as we head to the bottom of the 7th. It has been all MSOE in the later half of this game. After the Cougars, they started out pretty electric and have struggled to control the Raiders' offense as Mahler fouls off the first pitch that he sees. Mahler, he reaches for this one off the end of his bat, but heading into that little bit of a danger zone that we've seen so far today, and successfully so. Skolmar, Bosque, and Hoyer all in there trying to connect on it, and they just cannot find that ball. And that's going to put Mahler on second. And that's going to put Jack Linko now at the plate.
First baseman number 30, Jack Linko.
Linko 1 for 3 here today. He picked up a single in his first at-bat, and he's struggled since, as that one is going to be a little floater over to first base. Hoyer able to collect it. And that's going to put one away, and Dom Owens now at the plate.
Designated hitter number 14, Dom Owen.
Owens 1 for 2 on the day. He picked up a single to left field in his last at-bat. He swings at the first pitch he sees and skies it into right field. And Mahler is not going to go anywhere. And that's going to quickly put 2 away. Two outs on the board, runner on second, and Zagerman coming up to the plate. Zagerman, he's 1 for 3. He picked up a 2-out double in his last at-bat. As he lets that first pitch go by for ball 1. The 1-0 sliding in there for strike number 1. Zach Brzezinski, he's had a successful outing on the mound so far for the Raiders. Started off a little slow. We saw head coach of the Raiders, Adrian Santiago, coming out and having a conversation in the first inning just to kind of resettle some stuff. But since then, he has locked in 7 strikeouts on the day, 6 2/3 innings pitched so far, 33 batters faced, and just over 100 total pitches thrown now. And he's going to catch Zagerman swinging on that one to bring us up to 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 runner on second. Zagerman swings through that one for out at number 3. That's going to strand Brandon Mahler. And the Cougars, they're heading back to defense.
No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on base.
As Jackson, Klaus, and Bosque do up when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network.
leads off the top of the eighth.
Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, new arm on the bump for CUC, number 10, Anthony Polano. So that is going to close out the day for Elliot Higgins. Most likely close out the season here at the Thunderdome for that senior pitcher. 2 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs allowed, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, 16 batters faced, 64 total pitches thrown. And he hands it over to another senior on this CUC squad in Anthony Polano. Polano coming into today as he delivers that one in there for strike 1. Coming into today, Polano, he's making his 6th appearance on the season. Typically a 1-inning kind of guy, as he's collected 2 strikeouts on the season. And looking to get to work early here. He sits ahead 1-2 in the count. As he collects strikeout number 1 on the day. Jackson goes down swinging. 1 out on the board, and Charlie Klaus now coming to the plate. Anthony Polano, a 5th-year senior on this team, missed all of last season due to injury, and he made the return to the mound in mid-March down in Texas. Game against Hardin-Simmons University. Came in and he pitched 1 inning there and held the Cowboys scoreless in that first appearance of the season, and he's done just that this season. As he delivers ball number 1 to Charlie Klaus. Klaus 1 for 2 at the plate here today. Picked up a solo home run in the top of the 5th inning. Part of that big rally for the Raiders that pushed them ahead. As Polano delivers strike number 1. That one clips the zone for strike number 2. Polano, he's getting to work early, trying to hold the Raiders where they're at. One, 2 count, 1 out. Polano gets set here. He delivers low for ball 2. Two count here for Charlie Klaus. Polano delivers. Upstairs, ball 3. 2 consecutive balls thrown here. Fills this count up as Polano gets set. The 3-2. Missing just outside ball 4. Good movement on it, just not dropping in the zone enough. So that's going to put 1 base runner on, and Christian Bosquet now at the plate for MSOE.
Second baseman number 20, Christian Bosquet.
Bosquet 1 for 3 at the plate here today. He took a walk in his last at-bat. Picked up a single before that. As Klaus is going to take off. The pitch not even thrown. And they're able to get him out. Great high IQ there from Anthony Polano, not even throwing the pitch. And Klaus is going to get caught stealing, erase that base runner, and put out number 2 on the board. Charlie Klaus, limited stolen base attempts this season, coming into today 5 for 6. So surprising to see him try to take off like that, but getting caught in the process as Bosquet takes ball number 1. This one in there for strike number 1. 1-1 count. Polano, 12 pitches so far today and 2 outs on the board. Very effective already for this senior pitcher. Swing and a miss. Strike number 2. The 1-2 from Polano. Misses for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Polano gets set here. He delivers. This one's going to be swung on and connected, lifted into center field. Buckley underneath it for the out, and Anthony Polano delivers the first scoreless inning since the second. A much-needed 0 on the scoreboard, and Anthony Polano just getting it done for the Cougars, as that's going to send this back to the Cougar offense as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Beckert, Sperando, Buckley due up when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Jeff Beckert leading the inning off for CUC, riding the momentum of a scoreless inning as Beckert fouls the first pitch off that he sees. Brzezinski still dishing on the bump for the Raiders. Coming into this inning, already passing 100 total pitches on the day. As this one got some juice on it. It's going to bounce all the way to the fence in left center. Beckert easily taking 2. A stand-up double for Jeff Beckert. Gets things rolling when it's needed. And that's going to put Richie Sperando now to the plate.
Second baseman number 8, Richie Sperando.
Beckert, a much-needed hit, his second of the day. And that puts a runner in scoring position with Sperando at the plate. He's 0 for 3 here today as he lets that one go by for ball 1. This one missing inside as well. So movement in the Raiders bullpen. So should Brzezinski struggle a little bit here, you can most likely see them go into that bullpen, not putting too much pressure on him. He did his job, started off slow and then worked his way back in, held the Cougars to some scoreless innings, and then has put the controls in the MSOE offense's hand. So a quick 3-0 count here against Sperando. As that one misses upstairs, ball 4, a 4-ball walk. It's going to put 2 runners on, and we're going to see head coach of the Raiders, Adrian Santiago, coming out and having a discussion with his infield. Again, seeing some movement. Didn't see the nod directly to the bullpen, so potentially not quite there yet, but most likely trending in that direction. So Cougars have 2 base runners on, and the top of the order at the plate. They trail 9-5. Again, the Raiders, they really came to life in the 5th inning. And the Cougars, they've struggled since then. CUC hasn't scored a run since the bottom of the 5th. But Cam Buckley looking to change that up.
Number 23, Cam Buckley.
Buckley, he's 1 for 3 on the day. He picked up a single in his most recent at-bat. Found his way on base in his first plate appearance off a walk, but then in between has struggled a little bit. So with 2 runners on, looking to jumpstart something here. He shows bunt, pulls back, lets it go by for ball 1. Buckley, a quick runner here for CUC. We've seen him with a successful bunt and outrunning the throw, especially with 2 runners on, just looking to advance everybody here as he lays a perfect bunt down and rolls back to Brzezinski. The throw is going to be in time, but it is going to move the runners around and hand things over to Brendan Holloway. So, again, just doing his job and getting the base runners into scoring position. 1 out on the board, and Brendan Holloway coming to the plate.
Left fielder, number 17, Brendan Holloway.
Holloway 1 for 4 at the plate here today. He's going to chop this one right up the middle. 1 run's going to score, and Holloway's going to be safe at first. A nice high chopper made it impossible for Jackson to field that cleanly. And that's going to be exactly what the Cougars needed. Holloway safe at first. Sperando safe at third, and Jake Mahler at the plate after Jeff Beckert scoring. CUC now trailing a 9-6. Jake Mahler 1 for 3 at the plate here today. 1 out on the board. He lets the first pitch go by for ball 1. Runners on the corner bags. This one missing well outside into the opposite batter's box. Ball 2.
I think it's time to fire Kayla up here.
2-0 counts for Mahler. Runners on the corner bags. Brzezinski delivers this one inside for ball 3. A hitter's count for Jake Mahler with the opportunity to load the bases up. Brzezinski nearing 120 pitches on the day. He delivers the 3-0 in there for strike 1. The 3-1 swung on, a chopper out of balance. Jackson not able to make the throw, popping out of Bosquet's glove. Richie Sperando scores. Mahler safe at first. And the Cougars, they are slowly tacking runs on. Brandon Mahler coming to the plate. CUC trails 9-7 now. Brzezinski doing a nice job of getting a ground ball. Back-to-back choppers up the middle. As Mahler sends that one deep. It's back. And it's over the fence for a home run. Brandon Mahler, oh my goodness. Fire me up, Brandon Mahler! Bingo, bango, bongo! Exactly what the Cougars needed to keep this thing moving! And the Cougars have taken the lead yet again. And that is going to bring a new hitter in for the Cougars as Connor Jerkadis comes to the plate.
Your attention, please. Batting for the first baseman, Linko, number 72, Connor Jerkadis.
Jerkadis coming in placement of Linko. And the Cougars, they have done exactly what we've seen them do so many times this season. Coming to life when it's needed, and Brandon Mahler, the guy to do it. CUC tacking on 5 runs so far in the bottom of the 8th. 1 out on the board, and Jerkadis is going to swing at that one, makes this an 0-2 count. Got to give credit where credit is due here. Brandon Mahler's home run accredited potentially to 2 things. Our Hall of Famer, PA announcer up here in the press box at the Thunderdome, Jim Egan, he called that one saying that I needed to get fired up a little bit, and Brandon Mahler, he delivered that. And from what I understand, our Cougar biggest fans, Kennedy and Easton Smith, also cheering for a home run, watching from home, able to get some juices flowing as Jerkadis sends this one back. The great grab from A.J. Lay, off balance, able to collect it. And that's going to put 2 outs on the board and bring Dom Owens up to the plate.
The designated hitter, number 14, Dom Owens.
2 outs on the board. Owens at the plate. CUC officially ahead by 1. Owens 1 for 3 on the day. Flew out to right field in his last at-bat, but picked up a single to left field in the one before that. He sits with the 0-1 count. As that one getting away from Erickson just a tad. 1-1 count. As Owens sends that one with authority towards right field, but Skolmar able to collect it for the out. So the Cougars able to tack on a few runs and take the lead here as we head into the final stretch. Top of the 9th, 5 runs on 3 hits. Lay, Hoyer, and Mayberry due up when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, new arm on the mound for CUC in at number 51, Kyle Connolly. And momentum is on CUC's side after taking the lead in the bottom of the 8th. And Kyle Connolly, he has been arguably the most effective reliever for the Cougars this season. And he's coming in and starting things off with A.J. Lay, who is 0 for 2 on the day. He's taken 2 walks, got hit by a pitch, and took a 4-ball walk, but he's going to let that first pitch go by for strike number 1. And we can't forget about the scoreless inning that Anthony Polano threw to really jumpstart the 8th inning for CUC, delivering that scoreless inning. 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 3 batters faced, 15 pitches thrown, just absolutely getting it done. And again, what you have to expect might be his final appearance on the mound at the Thunderdome this season, as Connolly quickly ahead, 1-2. That one missing just outside. Really good efforts to frame that from Brandon Mahler, but a little bit of ways off of the plate, excuse me. 2-2 count here for Lay. In there for strike number 3. Kyle Connolly getting it done. 1 out on the board, hands things over to Camden Hoyer. And Kyle Connolly, we've seen him be this effective all season for the Cougars. Just absolutely coming in and locking in. 1 inning typically, and as we're seeing here in the top of the 9th, he knows how to throw strikes, and he knows how to throw them well as he delivers strike number 1 to Hoyer. This one missing just outside. One and one count here. This one up and away makes it 2-1. Two-one count here. This one sent down the middle of the plate with aggression. A 2-2 count. Kyle Connolly, a little bit of a sidearm here, just makes it difficult for hitters to see where that ball's coming from out of that side slot. As that one misses just upstairs again. Brandon Mahler doing his best, trying to frame those pitches and pull them right back in, missing very narrowly. Swing and a miss, strike 3! Back-to-back strikeouts, Kyle Connolly! The Cougars 1 out away from taking this first game victory, but Kyle Mayberry coming to the plate looking to get things done.
Designated hitter number 4, Kyle Mayberry.
Mayberry, he has been a hot hitter for the Raiders here today. 3 for 3 at the plate. He's made his way on base in every plate appearance today. He took a walk in his first at-bat and then 3 consecutive singles, but Connolly delivers strike number 1. This one in there for strike number 2, and Connolly, he means business. This one missing just outside. 1-2 count. This one's going to be a chopper. Jerkadis collects it, flips it over to Connolly, and the Cougars do it! They take the win in Game 1 after Brandon Mahler launches a home run to put the Cougars ahead. Oh, my goodness! Talk about the cardiac Cougs just absolutely coming to life when it was needed. Anthony Polano getting it done on the mound. Brandon Mahler launching the go-ahead home run, and Kyle Connolly coming in and shutting it down. The Cougars are hot. Game 1, CUC takes the 10-9 victory. And they take their first win over MSOE in quite a few years. A much-needed victory for CUC. closing out their first game of 2 here at the Thunderdome for the season. I mean, what more could you ask for? And like I said, it really comes down to a whole team effort. CUC just absolutely getting it done. Jack Carroll, 4 1/3 innings pitched on the mound. Elliot Higgins, 2 2/3. Anthony Polano delivers a scoreless inning that was huge. Kyle Connolly delivers a scoreless inning that was huge. And the hitters combined just absolutely getting it done. CUC coming in hot. Never doubt the Cougs as they take their first win over MSOE in a long time since 2021. But that is just game 1 of our doubleheader here today. We're in for a treat as game 2 looks to come in just about 30 minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to want to miss that one. If it's anything like we saw here in game number 1, we're going to have a fun one for you. So be sure to check back on the Cougar Sports Network in just a little bit. And as always, roll Cougs.
So much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.